Hello, I'm Mark Holmes. I'm the founder of Luvka Vodka, and here we are this evening at the Rivers Inlet Sportsman's Club, about 260 miles north of Vancouver in the British Columbian wilderness. It's a beautiful evening. We've been fishing all day, and the ideal drink, I think, after a long day's fishing is to have a perfect luxury martini made with Luvka vodka. It's a luxury Polish vodka distilled 3 times from rye, wheat and barley. It's a vodka with heritage and flavour. So the first thing you should do whenever you are making any good martini is to select your vodka. Secondly, buy some organic oranges or lemons because they have no wax on them. That's very important. You'll see this in a second. Finally, get a Boston stirrer because we're not going to shake the martini, because martinis should be treated with love, and if you shake martinis they become bruised, which is very important. And finally, some good ice. So the first thing you do in preparation for a martini is to chill down your glasses, which I'm going to do now. And this means that the martini is going to stay longer in your hand, which is very important because there's nothing worse than a warm martini. Fill your Boston with ice, and once you've got some ice in the Boston, add some good vermouth, Noilly Prat, made at the turn of the century in France, about 5 to 10 ml. Pour it into the ice, and all we're going to do is we're going to wash the ice, stir the ice about 10 to 15 times until your fingers are really cold. We don't have a Hawthorne strainer, so I'm going to use this classic French knife to pour away into the local water for the fish, and I've poured basically all of the Noilly Prat away, so the ice is now flavoured with the Noilly Prat. Take your Luvka, pour a generous measure. I normally like to count to 3 or 4. I think that's 5. And we're going to stir again about 25 times is what I normally like stirring, and that will give time for the Luvka to dilute sufficiently with the ice, but not to dilute too much, so you've still got lots of flavour in the martini. In your glass should now be cold, making sure. Now I'm going to throw this away, and the wonderful thing of throwing it straight into the sea beside me, and you can see how cold the ice is there. And once again, we don't have a Hawthorne strainer, so we're going to use my special knife again. Pour the martini gently into the martini glass. That looks delicious. Should be slightly viscous at this stage. And I've already pre-sliced some lemon. I've taken the organic lemon rind, I've cut it off, and there's no pith on the back because the pith is bitter. This is very important, otherwise you'll ruin the martini after all this time. The reason we have an organic lemon is because it's unwaxed, which means that when we zest the martini, and you will see this now, there's some wonderful oil comes out across the martini. And then you gently rub it around the rim of the martini so you get flavours of lemon every time, and present it to your dear friend with the outside of the lemon peel to them. Cheers. I'm Mark Holmes. I'm the founder of Luvka Vodka, and I'm standing here at Sportsman's Lodge, Rivers Inlet, about 500 miles north of Vancouver, after a long, hard day's fishing, and I can only recommend a long, luxury Luvka martini after a great day's fishing. Cheers. Hello, I'm Mark Holmes. I'm the founder of Luvka Vodka, and here we are this evening at the Rivers Inlet Sportsman's Club, about 260 miles north of Vancouver in the British Columbian wilderness. It's a beautiful evening. We've been fishing all day, and I'm making martinis for myself and my friends. And I'd like to share with you tonight another martini called the coho, which we made obviously especially for all the coho that we've been catching today. And it's made with red vermouth and Luvka vodka. It's a luxury Polish vodka distilled 3 times from rye, wheat and barley. It's a vodka with heritage and flavour. So let me take you through the processes of how to make the perfect martini. Firstly, take 3 well-sized martini glasses and fill each of them with ice. So the idea of filling the glasses with ice is that you're going to chill them down so that the martinis will stay cold for longer, and that's important. Take a Boston, because we're going to stir the martini, we're not going to shake it. Stirred martinis are made with love, and you don't bruise luxury vodka when you stir them, you control the dilution, and that's very important for all martinis. Fill your Boston with ice again. I'm using Martini Rosso tonight. This is red vermouth, and we're going to wet the ice. So basically you pour 5 to 10 ml of red vermouth over the ice, and we're going to do something which we call washing the ice. So we're going to stir the ice now. You put the stir around, and we're going to stir it about 10 to 15 times. And this will coat the ice with red vermouth. So once you've stirred it 10 to 15 times, we don't have a hawthorn. I have my special fishing knife, which I go everywhere with. We're going to pour this into the British Columbian Sea, and you're going to pour nearly everything away. The ice is now coated with red vermouth. Take your luvka vodka and pour a generous measure. I normally count to about 5 because there are going to be 2 of us drinking. Add some fresh ice. If you want this very cold, take your spoon, put it down the side of the Boston, and once again we're going to stir about 25 times now, and that will mean that we're controlling the dilution, and we're going to get just the right dilution for the martini. So that martini is now ready. I'm going to take the ice, the glass is now chilled. Ice is going to go into the sea, and look, you can see how wonderfully cold they are. And now we're going to pour the martinis, the Coho martinis, into each glass. It's always best to drink martinis with friends. I'm using an organic orange today, and I'm just going to cut a slice off the orange. We use organic oranges because they have no wax on them. So I've now cut a piece of orange. I'm going to take the pith off because the pith is bitter. You just take the knife and you run it flat across the back of the slice of skin that you just cut off the orange, and you just make sure that all the pith is gone. So basically, we've cut all the pith away, and now we're going to put the orange oils onto the martini, and if you watch really carefully, you'll see them go on. See them go on there, and they're all on the top of the martini, which you can now see. Rub the orange peel around the martini, and always present it like this. And then you have the perfect martini. Cheers. This is Mark Holmes, founder of You Luvka Vodka, making the perfect Coho martini with red vermouth at the Sportsman's Lodge, Rivers Inlet, 260 miles north of Vancouver. Cheers. That is absolutely fantastic. I might even have another.